Oh, I expect you're waiting for me to make a video and say funny things for 10 to 15 minutes, aren't you? Yeah, that's what I thought. Entitled bastard. Can you believe how entitled these people are, Tyrone? I've just expected to drop what I'm doing and tap dance for them. I'm clearly reading important literature here. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, there's two things I hate in life. Stupid people and Minecraft intros. And this video's got both of them. What to do, everybody, and welcome back to the worst show on the internet. You joined me today for yet another episode of another pointless internet series, or APIS for short. I get a lot of comments, tweets, and various other messages from people telling me that this YouTube channel, and the whole show in general, is one of the worst things they've ever had the misfortune to stumble across. And with every passing moment of time, it gets significantly worse. Frankly, I just don't care anymore. I don't think I've cared for years. Let the shit show continue.
Number 15. Burger King foot lettuce.
So the first topic for today's video, as I'm sure you're probably aware, International Women's Day rolled around recently. I love me some women, guys. Of course, they don't love me back, but that's to be expected. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that International Women's Day is quite a big thing nowadays. It's a very important annual celebration in which lots of people come together and which lots of people take quite seriously. So yeah, on one hand, you all come together and celebrate and commemorate the achievements of women, but on the other hand, because this event is taken quite seriously, you've also got to be quite respectful and show that you possess basic common sense. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is, if you wanted to commemorate International Women's Day, what you wouldn't do is this. Now I know what some of you are already thinking at this point. Oh, Moocake, that's a very funny, edgy, ha-ha joke there, isn't it? But no, this isn't a fake tweet. This is an actual, real tweet that Burger King made on International Women's Day. I like to call this kind of mistake a big whopper. This tweet is wrapped in so many layers of brain-damaging stupidity. I physically cannot understand how anyone would look at this and think, yeah, this is a great idea. Not one of them, even for a second, in the back of their mind thought, maybe this is a bad idea, actually. Alright guys, so welcome back to the annual Burger King meeting. We've got a few things on the agenda that we need to discuss today. First up, International Women's Day is just round the corner. We need a way to celebrate and commemorate this event. Has anyone got any ideas? Anyone in the office at all?
Me, please.
Oh yeah, you back there. What's your idea?
Let's put on Twitter that women belong in the kitchen.
By Lord! The man's a genius! What baffles me even further is, they put this on Twitter. Twitter isn't known for being a particularly hospitable place. Twitter will tear you to shreds for much less than this. In fact, sometimes Twitter will tear you to shreds for absolutely no fucking reason at all. So you think putting something that's actually genuinely stupid on any day of the year, you think putting that on Twitter is going to be remotely a good idea? But what's that? You want to add more gasoline to the fire? Oh yeah, put it out on International Women's Day. Now if we take a closer look at the tweet in question, ladies and gentlemen, you can actually begin to see that it's all a bit of a ruse. The tweet in question is actually supposed to be promoting Burger King's new culinary course for women. Now let's put aside for a second that this is probably one of the worst ways of promoting anything ever. What this means is this initial "women belong in the kitchen" tweet, it's just clickbait. In fact, worse than that, it's shock clickbait. Now I've been talking about clickbait and its many humorous forms for years now, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually one of the reasons why this channel's quality and my sanity have completely gone down the fucking toilet. And I can tell you right off the bat from my many years of discussing clickbait that they're all fucking awful. But if there was one form of clickbait that is especially obnoxious and bad, it is shock clickbait. Shock clickbait is exactly as described, essentially. You put something out there that looks especially obnoxious or egregious because you know that it will confuse and anger people, and that will get lots of attention drawn your way. Other examples of shock clickbait include this and this. This is the kind of level of content we're dealing with here. And this is the kind of level that Burger King has stooped to by making this tweet in order to get attention. In conclusion then, Burger King aren't actually sexist, they're just 50 shades of brain dead. I will be adding this tweet to my ever-growing list of reasons as to why the internet was a complete mistake.
I am not amused.
So up next on the agenda, as I'm sure you're probably aware, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle recently did an interview with Oprah Winfrey about their time together in the royal family. And needless to say, it's quite a serious and controversial interview in some places. Now I'll be completely honest, fellas, I originally did not want to talk about this topic at all. I didn't even want to go near it. Like I've already said, it's quite a serious topic, and let's be realistic here. This channel is anything but serious. However, people have been asking me to talk about this. Why they've been asking me to talk about this, I'm not entirely sure. Apparently people want my degenerate, meme-ridden opinion on these matters. Why? You've backed me into a corner here, basically, so fuck you all, you bastards. Memes aside, though, people do want me to speak about this, so fair enough, I'll give it a shot. But like I said, this is quite a serious topic, so don't expect memes and goofs all over the place. Obviously, I will try and keep this segment as light-hearted as I can, but what I'm saying is, don't expect any, whoa dude, funny voices and shit like that. So I haven't watched the full interview, because the full interview is a couple of hours long, and things like the royal family and Meghan Markle and Prince Harry don't particularly concern me or interest me. However, I've watched most of the highlights, and I've read quite a lot about it in preparation for this video, and from what I've seen, there are 2 points within this interview that particularly caught my attention.
That if I didn't say it, that I would do it, and I just didn't want to be alive anymore.
So the first point that caught my eye is, yes, Meghan Markle essentially saying that she felt suicidal during her time in the royal family, and to be honest, I can believe that. There was a lot of evidence to suggest that the royal family was never particularly kind towards Meghan Markle. They never particularly wanted her to marry Prince Harry. And during the time in which Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were getting married, during the build-up to the marriage, a lot of very awful things were written about her in the British newspapers. I remember reading some of them at the time. So if you take all of that into consideration, it's not really a surprise that she felt pretty low and depressed about herself during this period. And I can perfectly understand why she wanted to escape the royal family, why she wanted to leave. By the way, anyone that's saying, oh, she's just making this up for attention and things like that, I would like you to do us all a favour and beat yourself with a radiator pipe, please. The second point that particularly caught my attention was the point in which the royal family's comments concerning Harry and Meghan's kids were discussed.
So we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
Now this point's a little bit meatier, shall we say, than the other one. There's a bit more to unpack here, so bear with me on this. Now firstly, the comments about Harry and Meghan's children not getting an official royal title, this is not as bad as it actually sounds. This is actually a rule that's been in place in the royal family for at least 100 years now, I think. Basically the rule states that you only get an official royal title if you are directly in line to the throne. And Harry's kids aren't directly in line to the throne. The rule with ascending to the throne is essentially that the eldest child is in line to the throne. The Queen is currently on the throne, obviously. And once she dies, I'm just joking of course, the Queen can't die, she's an immortal lizard. But once she dies, her eldest child will be next in line for the throne. And that eldest child is Prince Charles. Now once Prince Charles dies, his eldest child will be directly in line for the throne. And that's Prince William, Prince Harry's older brother. Once Prince William dies, his eldest child will be directly in line to the throne. So you see, because Harry is the second eldest, his children aren't directly in line, and so they don't get an official title. They're not eligible yet. Once Queen Elizabeth's son does ascend to the throne though, Harry's children will be eligible for a royal title because they'll be the grandchildren of the current reigning monarch. That makes them automatically eligible. If you're the child or the grandchild of the current reigning monarch, you're automatically eligible for a royal title, no matter how close or far you are from getting to the throne. And that's been a rule, like I said, for about 100 years now. So that point isn't so bad. Now the comments about Harry and Meghan's kid not getting support or security, that's a completely different thing altogether. You would think that Prince Charles would support his child and grandchild, whether or not they were directly in line to the throne. And even if they're leaving the royal family, which they did, by the way, in 2018, I think. But even if they leave the royal family, surely you could continue to support them then. I could almost understand if the conversation went, yeah, sorry, we're going to have to stop supporting you once you leave the royal family. But what I gather from this interview is they were never going to get support from the start, even when they were still in the royal family. That's a little bit fucked, in my opinion. But obviously, it's not quite nearly as fucked as this.
And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
I don't have to tell you how messed up this is. I really don't have to. I mean, honestly, I don't know what to say about this. I really don't. If this is true, then A, that's completely unexcusable, and B, again, I don't blame Harry and Meghan for wanting to leave the royal family. It's completely understandable. So yeah, they're the 2 points from the interview that really particularly caught my attention. Like I said, the rest of the interview, there wasn't really anything that particularly interested me. I know there's some people out there that are like really, really interested in news about the royal family or about celebrities in general, but I'm just not one of those people. News about like the royal family or celebrities just doesn't interest me in the slightest. It never has. So most of this interview just didn't interest me at all. But like I said, those were the 2 points that really raised my eyebrows. I wanted to talk about them. I have. I think we can move on from this topic now. I suppose my final thoughts on this whole Harry-Meghan experience thing, I would just say, I suppose, that, you know, they've managed to escape now. They left the royal family, and a couple of years after leaving, they've managed to relay their side of the story in this interview. So they've managed to escape, if you want to call it that, and now they've managed to give the public their side of the story. Now that they've done those two things, I suppose I would say the most sensible thing to do is just leave it there. Leave the past in the past. However, with that being said, you know, they were probably paid a hell of a lot for this interview. Let's be realistic here for a second. They were probably paid quite a substantial amount of money for this interview. And if they were offered another substantial amount of money for another interview, I wouldn't fucking blame them for taking it, to be honest. So we'll see what happens.
What a load of old shit!
So let's try and lighten the mood after that segment, get a few memes going in the chat once again. I know for a fact that some people have already clicked off this video because, God forbid, Moocake got serious.
Oh, Moocake isn't saying funny things. This is very cringe to me.
Now, for those of you that might not be aware, I have a podcast that I started about 6 months ago with two complete morons.
I don't find like poop jokes and shit like that particularly funny. Maybe I've just got a better sense of humour than you. But like even just saying the word poop makes you laugh, and it's not funny. It's just not. Neither is like, you know, really weird pictures.
He said poop, Venom. Dude, oh my god, Moo, stop.
Hold on.
Wait, was.
What?
Beep, beep.
And in a recent episode of that podcast, I brought up the topic of manifesting, which is a trend that's currently going around the internet that I really fucking dislike. Manifesting essentially boils down to the idea of, if I wish for something hard enough, I will get it. You don't work for the thing that you want, you don't earn it, you just wish for it until you get it. Because you're entitled. Needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, that manifesting is one of the most childish and stupid things that I have come across in quite a long time now. You can't just wish for something and expect it to come true. This is the real world. And yet, despite this very obvious fact, there are actual grown adults out there that try manifesting for things every day and expect it to work. I hate the internet. I hate the internet so fucking much. Now, manifesting is not only completely stupid, but it's also actually quite self-destructive behaviour. It's actually bad for you. And if you'd like to hear me talk more about why manifesting is completely brain dead and actually quite negative, damaging behaviour, I'd recommend you my podcast episode. There will be a link to it at the end of this video. However, one particular point from the podcast that I'd like to draw your attention towards is this.
That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to put it on. I don't know. It just annoyed me. The manifesting stuff's annoyed me. Podcast is a great place to ramble about it. I'm not sure if I can make a video about it because, you know, there's almost too little to talk about, but podcast is great because I can ramble about this. Just wanted that off my chest.
Well, maybe if you manifested a video topic,
maybe. But there we
good.
go. There we go. I should manifest shitty reasons for why manifesting sucks.
You guessed it, ladies and gentlemen, so without further ado, let's try and manifest a video about why manifesting is fucking shit. Didn't work. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this video. It's just started raining. You might be able to hear that actually over the audio, and if you can hear that, I don't care. at all. This is the worst show on the internet. What are you expecting? Actual quality? Thanks very much for watching all the same. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, a like, a subscribe. They're always very useful and help support this shit show of a channel. You can also share this video with all your friends. I mean, actually, to be fair, you're watching my channel, so you probably don't have any friends. But if you do happen to have any friends, why not share? Fuck's sake. Anyway, I'm off to manifest some alcohol now. Thanks very much for watching. Keep safe, and remember, don't do drugs. Just give them to me.